Hi, Dr. Ziegler here again with Lifestyle Solutions. And so this video, the purpose of it is to go over kind of the basics of how a resting metabolic rate assessment can benefit you, no matter really what your goal is, whether it's health, weight loss, even athletic performance. And so first I want to talk about what we mean when we say measuring somebody's resting metabolic rate. And so this is actually a friend of mine. He probably regrets ever volunteering to do this. I use this picture all the time. And what he's doing is he's laying down. And so when you come in, and he's rested, so when you come in for this assessment, I'm going to ask you to do a few things to prepare so we can get an accurate measurement. The first thing is you have to come in fasted. And so the best time to do the assessment is first thing in the morning. If that time's not good for you, then we can schedule a different time in the day, but you still need to be fasted. You need to have abstained from caffeine and alcohol for at least 24 hours, any other stimulants for at least 24 hours, and vigorous exercise for 24 hours as well. And so my friend here, he came in, he followed those guidelines, and he's laying down. Now you can't see this, but I do have a heart rate monitor on him. So when you come in and see me, we'll place a heart rate monitor right over your sternum. Now I have a mask that's placed on my that mask is a unique mask in the sense of it's collecting all of the air that he's breathing, the ambient air, but it's not allowing it to escape back out, but it's being collected into the machine. You can't really see it here. And what that machine is doing is it's actually measuring the amount of oxygen that you're consuming at rest. Now, the reason that that number is important is if we look at what somebody's total energy expenditure is. Now, think about this from relation to losing weight, okay? If we want to determine how many calories you should be eating to either gain weight, lose weight, whatever your goal is, we need to accurately know what that number is. And so if we take the components of that, we can break it down to, okay, your basal metabolic rate, which is pretty similar to your resting metabolic rate, and that's in blue here. Your physical activity, which is in red, and then what we call the thermic effect of food, which is in that yellow-greenish color. So when we eat food, there is an energy cost, meaning we actually burn some calories when we break down our food to digest it. And then and that's about 10%. Obviously, when we're moving, we're extending or expending energy, that's about 20%. 70% of our energy expenditure is determined based off of somebody's resting metabolic rate. Now, there are a lot of different equations that different trainers and fitness enthusiasts will use to try to estimate this number, but it really is a shot in the dark. And so what we offer is a direct measurement of what this number is. Now, this number is important because, one, it will help us be able to identify the amount of calories you need to eat. Okay, that's key. Two, it's important because we can then predict if you are an individual with a higher metabolism or a lower metabolism. Okay, so based off this number, I can tell you, hey, your metabolism is very high. You know, you're more than likely to have success losing weight. Or, I mean, there are people out there where your metabolism is low. Doesn't mean you can't lose weight, but we will have to work a little bit harder and we'll have to change a few things. And so that's what this number gives you. It also tells you what we call substrate utilization, meaning what are we using for energy? So we could, when we're walking around our day-to-day activities, we're primarily either using carbohydrates for energy or fat for energy. In an ideal world, we would be burning 100% fats all the time, but that's not realistic. When somebody comes in for a resting metabolic rate assessment, they should primarily be burning fat for energy. You're fasted, you're rested. You should be burning lots of fat. What we know and what research has shown us is if you come in, you're fasted and rested, and we look and we see that you're actually burning more carbohydrates at rest, one, that tells us it's kind of a predictor of if you're going to be successful at losing weight or not. And so we can kind of better gauge what kind of goals we should set for you. But two, it can also tell us how we can tailor a diet to fit your specific needs. So if you burn predominantly fats at rest, a very good fat burner, you probably don't need to follow a very strict low-carb diet, and those are extremely hard to follow. However, if at rest you are a carb burner, then you would have more success probably following a low carbohydrate diet. And that's what this assessment can tell us. And so on our website, we have the pricing for this kind of assessment. And again, we have options whether you want a one-time assessment or you want to become a member and have assessments every month to see how your measurements change. We look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you later.